Well, before we get into all the images that you've sent to me and learn from those, I want to show just a couple, and one in particular is to talk about a painting. Each year when I was doing the workshops up in the Smoky Mountains, I rent this large cabin, has 9 bedrooms, all private bath, all it didn't do it this year, of course, but each time I've been up there, I see this painting on the wall, and I've been struck with it so much, especially about how the light is used. So I want to point that out.
That's really
This signifies almost everything that I talk about in relation to an image having impact. One is the brightest area of the image is where you want the eye to go first. So you see that bright light is on the wagon and on the front of the building on the right. The building on the left is in shadow, but you see the wonderful detail in that shadow area. Beautiful. Ansel's statement about shadows is if the mind wants to see detail in the shadow areas, then there should be detail, and that the highlight should have detail and texture. And if you look all through this painting, everywhere that there's a highlight, there is texture. Now, this is side light, which is also a very important aspect, how wonderful it is. And that this one is using that side light to come from on the other side of this building on the left. And you notice the foreground, how it is much darker than the other dark areas in the image, say in the middle area here. That pushes your eye into the painting. And sometimes when I talk with people about paintings, they say, oh, well, that painter did anything he wanted. Well, so can we. We have what I will call the dry dark room compared to the wet dark room when I did anyway, a lot of film and in the dark room. But the aspects of presenting the image is the same no matter how you're getting there. And I want to emphasize the highlights and shadows and details and color in this image because it's just striking. And if you notice, it is, let me reduce this a little bit, a more, come on. It's a very long rectangular image, which works very well with the subject and the buildings there. If this was more of a traditional format of what we have on our camera and our sensors, it would not show in the same way. So you want to think about that. And when I am teaching a workshop and we stand in front of a wonderful, wonderful scene, and I say a single shot is not going to make this as well as doing a panorama so that you get the full stretch of what's in front of you. This painting does the same thing. Show you 2 things not related to the challenge, but Tom sent these to me, Tom Hughes. He showed me the use of the frame, which we had in a previous class of how to use frames to put things in. And when I saw this image, and I thought about where does my eye go first? What is the foreground? Is that too much open space? And for me, keep that in mind, that was too much. And I wanted this to be more of a rectangular format. So I changed the width, reduced the foreground, and brought out more drama in the sky. And one of the things I will do on a number of the images that you're working today that you submitted is, and it's a personal aspect for me, the drama in the sky and then darkening the sky pushes the eye back down. And if you look at this image and the color in the rocks here and the less space in the foreground, the one on the left, you wander around too much in that image, where the run on the right pushes you right into the image, gives you a place to be there, what I call a place to stand, and the rock is prominent, and that's a major element within the image.